I've made some decisions in 2023 that cost me my hair, y'all. Hey girl, welcome back to my channel. My name is Trinity. If you're new here, today we're going to be discussing how to incorporate new habits into your life. I mentioned in my most recent video, the chit chat, get ready with me, that you don't always have to have a new year, new me type of year. Sometimes you can just have a new year, better me kind of year where you're just tweaking little small things that will actually make a big difference in your life, your appearance, your character, all that stuff. Your 2024 goals list does not have to consist of a whole bunch of groundbreaking, life-changing milestones like buying a house, starting a business, getting a really fancy car, saving $20,000. It doesn't have to be that big. Sometimes all you need to do is tweak things that you're already doing, or just make changes to your everyday life. And 9 times out of 10, incorporating these small habits that we're going to talk about will actually help you to accomplish those really big milestones that you want to achieve. So if you're interested in hearing all about it, just keep on watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So I came up with the idea to do this video when I saw a post on Instagram where this girl was basically listing out her ins and outs for 2024. On the inside, she listed out a bunch of things that she wants to do more of or just start incorporating into her life. And then the outside, of course, was the opposite. Things that she wants to do less or just cut out altogether. And I really liked her list because it included a bunch of really simple, practical things. Changes in behavior, changes in routine, creating routines. Everything was just so practical. And that was like a breath of fresh air for me because when the new year comes, everyone's always talking about all these really big things that they want to accomplish. And while there's nothing wrong with that, we can't neglect the small things because, as I said before, the small things often add up to help us to accomplish those big things. Y'all know I always talk about working on your character and working on your attitude and your mindset because that is what helps you to become the person who can have all those big things that you want. So I'm gonna share my ins and outs with y'all, and hopefully this inspires you to sit down and do the same thing, to just come up with a bunch of different small things that you can incorporate into your life that will help you to become not only a better person, but to also live a better life. So first, for my ins, I wanna do more random acts of kindness. Have you ever been to like Chipotle or even like Chick-fil-A and the person in front of you paid for your meal, like a stranger? That has actually happened to me a few times, and I always say I'm gonna pay it forward, and I honestly cannot remember a time where I did that just because somebody else did it for me. I'll pay for my friends' food, I'll pay for my family members' food, but I don't remember the last time, if ever, that I just randomly treated a stranger just because. I remember one time me and my boyfriend were out a few years ago. We were sitting at a bar and this older couple, they were like looking at us smiling the whole time. It was another black couple. And when we were finished eating, the bartender told us that that couple had paid for our food. And we went over and we talked to them. We caught them right before they were leaving and we were thanking them, and they were just like, you know, we like to see young couples out having a good time, just really enjoying each other's company. We liked y'all energy, so we just wanted to do something nice for you. And my boyfriend just brought that up the other day, and he was like, remember when that couple did that for us? I want us to do that for somebody else when we go out one day soon. So I want to do more things like that because I'll never forget how that moment made me feel, how that made us feel. I also want to start showing more appreciation for the people who I love, my family members, my friends, my boyfriend, even my son. Like just doing little small things for them. I love gift giving, but I've always had this habit of waiting to the very last minute to do things. And while I do feel like I always give thoughtful gifts, I know that starting things ahead of time and really planning them out, planning gifts out, will really allow me to be even more thoughtful with my gifts and to do even more than I have done in the past. Little things like making little baskets for my son for holidays, because now he's at the age where he enjoys that type of stuff. He's 2, about to be 3 soon, so I know that he'll enjoy a cute little Valentine's Day basket with like some books and some candy and some little bath toys and other toys, just things that I know that he would love. Last week, I planned date night for me and my boyfriend. We go out to eat a lot. He often pays for it, even if I offer, but I wanted to plan something specifically for us, just a night for us to enjoy ourselves and for him to really be able to allow me to treat him. I want to do more reading. I mentioned this in my last video as well, but before this past weekend, I don't remember the last time I read a book from like cover to cover. When I did read, I used to read a lot of like self-help books, self-development type of books, and there's nothing wrong with those, but they often get very repetitive. And even if the book was really, really good, I would find myself stopping at a certain point and not really finishing it completely, because I didn't always find it necessary to finish the whole entire book to get what I needed. And I've been saying for a while that I wanted to get into novels, like reading fiction books. So I created a Pinterest board because a lot of books were coming up on my Pinterest feed, and now I just save stuff that I'm interested in onto my Pinterest board. So I do that, and then I also go on TikTok every now and then and just see what people are reading. I read my first book in a few years this past weekend. I read Verity by Colleen Hoover. That book was so good, and I've read it in probably, I want to say like 3 days. But the thing I loved about it was I really felt like I had to finish the book in order to really know what was going on. Like, it was so suspenseful, and I loved that feeling. I went on a Galentine's trip this weekend. So I read on the plane, I read in my hotel room, in my bed right before I went to sleep each night, and I also read on the way back. And those are often times where I'm just on my phone scrolling, texting, doing things that just aren't really that productive. So I was very proud of myself when I finished the book. I just felt like I did something productive with my time. And it also made me feel good because one thing I noticed about myself within the last maybe 2 years is that I am like famous for starting tasks and not finishing them. And it can be the smallest thing, like emptying out the dishwasher. Sometimes I'll leave a few things in the dishwasher just because I feel like, all right, well, I have enough room for me to put the things that are in the sink in here, so there's no need in me putting everything away. I'll just wash some of them again. Like, I do stuff like that. Sometimes I'll be folding clothes or putting clothes away after doing laundry, and the last few things will just get thrown in the drawer or thrown in the closet because I felt like, okay, I've done enough to accomplish something here. So finishing that book was a very big accomplishment for me, if I do say so myself. I also want to work on always looking put together when I leave the house. I feel like for the most part, I look pretty good when I leave the house on a daily basis, but I could do a little bit more. Like, one thing I've really been trying to do better with is not always wearing sweatpants when I really don't have anywhere to go. Like, I'll often wear sweatpants or leggings to work, and while I don't look a mess in the sweatpants and the leggings, I could have put on an actual outfit. Like, actual outfits don't have to be reserved for when you're really going out. I don't feel like I want to be that girl anymore who goes to work in an actual outfit, and because it rarely happens, people are like, oh, where are you going today after work? What you doing today? Like, no, I don't have to be going somewhere for me to actually look cute. It's like I said, yes, I still look presentable in my sweatpants and in my leggings and my hoodies, but I want to put a little bit more effort into it. I want to be putting on cute outfits to go to work, and they can still be chill, but chill doesn't always have to mean sweatpants. And then, like, when I used to wear my sweatpants all the time, I would just throw on some Ugg slippers or some Uggs, some Crocs, when I could have easily made that outfit a little bit more elevated by putting on an actual shoe. So I've recently been buying more shoes, and I've really been focusing on buying shoes that I can wear with a casual outfit and still look really put together and elevated. There are so many cute sneakers that are out right now that you can throw on instead of throwing on some slippers or some Crocs. Eventually, I may do a haul on other things that I've been buying to just, you know, spice up my wardrobe a little bit. And then y'all know, if you're not new here, I've been recently getting into jewelry, building up my jewelry collection. I'm a very simple person when it comes to everything, so I don't like to do too much. I like really timeless, classic stuff. So that's exactly what my jewelry has to be, like very dainty, very classic, very timeless. I wear these same rings every day. These rings are just plain bands from Banter. Banter is Piercing Pagoda. It's the same thing. I think they just changed the name. These rings are like $80 each. They're just so simple. They don't tarnish, which is why I don't mind investing in them. Then I have my watches from JBW. I'll give y'all a closer look. I don't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen, but this was another gift from my boyfriend. I love the two-tone. Usually I'm a gold girl, but the two-tone just does something for me. And now I'm able to wear more silver jewelry. So I have this new silver ring that I actually just got. I got 5 new rings from Preciously Polished. This is a jewelry company. I'm not sure where they're based, but they reached out to me and asked me if they could send me a few pieces, and I was automatically sold because they were all my style. Very dainty, very simple. The first one I got is this silver rope ring. I'm a size 7, but I got this one in a size 8 because I wanted to wear it on my thumb. I just think that's super duper cute. I don't know if y'all can see. The silver just ties in with my watch. So this one has been added into my everyday collection. Probably would just wear this all the time. Like, I wear these 3. I got 4 other rings from them as well. 2 that are my normal dainty style, and then 2 that are more of like statement pieces. I will leave the link down below so that y'all can purchase from them when the collection launches on February 7th. And I'll also leave a link down below for my regular everyday jewelry that I showed you in case you're interested in that as well. Okay, so while we're on this topic of wardrobe and style and fashion, I want to incorporate more color into my wardrobe. If you're not new here, then you know I'm a basics girl. Probably like 95% 5% of my closet is neutral basics. I didn't start doing it when it became a trend or aesthetic. Like, I've always been the type of girl who was very minimalistic, didn't really like to have a whole lot going on. I used to try to dibble and dabble into other styles of dressing, but I found myself doing things that I didn't really like or things that I didn't really feel comfortable in just because it looked good on other people. And then I also felt like whenever I would buy things that were prints or color in general, I felt like I couldn't wear it that often. Like, people would just notice that I was wearing it over and over again. Or like if I took a picture in it and posted it on Instagram, I would feel like, okay, can't wear this anymore. But no, when you buy something, you can wear it as many times as you like. You can post it as many times as you like. If you really know how to dress, you can wear something a bunch of different ways. So as long as you're not wearing the same exact outfit, then do you, girl. So now I'm really trying to push the envelope a little bit and really step outside of my neutral basics box, and while still buying things that can be worn a bunch of different ways. I want to have a little bit more fun with it. Like, there are colored pieces that can be worn a bunch of different ways. There are printed pieces that can be worn a bunch of different ways. I bought this really cute striped turtleneck from Zara the other day, and it's black and white, so no color. But the print, if this was like a year ago, I would have left it right in Zara, because I would be like, all right, once I wear this, it's going to be super noticeable if I wear it again. But baby, I bought it. I spent my $50 on it. So if I want to wear it 5,000 times, I'm gonna wear it 5,000 times. I don't care. I have built a very solid collection of basics to be my foundation for my wardrobe, and now I feel like I can build on top of that. Another thing I'm working on is expressing more gratitude. I'm trying this new thing where I journal for just a few minutes every night. Even if I can't get to it every night, it's my goal, so maybe I'll do it every other night. But no matter what I decide to write about that night, that evening, I always want to list 3 things that I'm grateful for that happened that day, or 3 good things that happened that day. Because showing gratitude helps you to really appreciate and love the life that you have without always feeling like you need a bunch of outside things. It's a great way to romanticize your life. It's a great way to show God that you appreciate the things that he has done for you. Although there may be things that you're still waiting on from him, we still have to show him that we appreciate the things that he's already done for us. A big thing for me this year was getting consistent with tithing again. I used to tithe years ago consistently. I don't know what happened over time. I just know that God has given me so many things that I have prayed for since I was in a very hard time in my life the last few years. So I want to make sure I am showing him my appreciation and showing him that he can trust me with even more. And tithing is one of the best ways to do that. I know a lot of people have their feelings about it. That's on y'all. I know what it does for me, and it's just something that I have dedicated myself to being consistent with this year. Another thing I'm actively working on this year is taking better care of my natural hair. I made some decisions in 2023 that cost me my hair, y'all. My little leave out section up top, my little middle part section, chopped and screwed. It looks a hot mess. It's probably like this long at this point, and I just can't no more. I did a lot of hairstyles last year that I probably should not have done. Y'all know my friend Sydney, she does my hair, and she kept telling me like, girl, if you keep on doing this, you ain't gonna have no hair. But I ain't want to listen. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted some leave out. I wanted to have my natural hairline out for a change. So I was getting U-part wigs. I was getting quick weaves. I was getting weaves. I was doing a whole lot of stuff that required me to put heat on my hair. And like I said, it cost me. So this year, I'm really trying to take better care of my hair. I'm doing a lot more protective styles, hence why I have these braids. I'm just gonna be rotating braids and my closure wigs, because I can't be walking around looking bald head in one little area. Like, I just can't do it. As a mother, as a person in general, I need routine to thrive. That's the only way I can make sure I get stuff done when I need it to get done. And honestly, I have fallen off of my routine for the last maybe 2 to 3 weeks, which is why y'all have not been getting videos as consistently as you have been for the past year. So I'm really trying to work on that. Like, I need an actual schedule for planning content, filming content, editing content. All that has to be planned out in advance. I can't just wing it because I have too much stuff going on. Not only am I a mom, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a business to run. I'm in a relationship. I have friends that I have to see. Like, I have a lot of things going on. So if I don't have an actual routine for all of the things that I need to get done, something isn't going to get done. And sometimes it's more than one thing that doesn't get done. And now for the outs, I'm gonna try to make this one quick because I feel like I spent so much time on the ends. Number 1, drinking less. I am not a big drinker. I don't even feel like I was ever a really big drinker, but there was a point when I had Jax where I would drink a whole bottle of wine on a night where he wasn't home, like when he would go with his dad on the weekends, I would just sit on my couch, eat me some good food, and just drink wine until I didn't feel like drinking anymore. Like, I've never been a really big liquor girl. I've never been big on shots. I did used to take shots in the past, but now you ain't gonna catch me taking shots nowhere. Like, if I'm going out with my friends or my boyfriend or whoever, it's real hard to get me to take a shot. One, I don't like the taste. Two, I don't like the feeling immediately or later on the next day. I love me a mixed drink though, but with mixed drinks, I drink socially. So like if I happen to be going out to eat, I'll have a mixed drink, or yeah, if I'm going out to eat. And I really just like the taste of them. I don't like nothing super duper strong. And I also won't get a whole bunch of drinks. There used to be a time where I would go out to eat, or I would like go have drinks with my friends or my boyfriend, and I would have maybe like 3 mixed drinks. But now my maximum is 2, and most of the time I don't even make it to 2 because I feel fine off of 1, because my tolerance is super duper low now, and nothing happened to make me stop drinking as much as I was. But I don't know, I guess I'm just trying to take better care of my body. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I don't really know what that's about, but I encourage everyone to really try to be conscious of how much you're drinking on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever. You don't need a drink every single day. You don't have to get a drink every time you go out to eat. You don't have to drink every time you're out with your friends. And even if you do drink, you don't have to have 5 drinks. You don't have to take shots. You don't have to do anything. You can order a mocktail sometimes just because. I also would like to curse even less than I do now. If y'all have ever seen my How to Become the Woman of Your Dreams video, I mentioned in that video that I wanted to stop cursing, and this was May of last year, so it's been maybe about 6 to 8 months. And I definitely curse a lot less. Like, I used to feel like I had to curse in every sentence. I would just do it just because. Now I'm a lot more conscious of it, so I definitely do it a lot less, but I want to do it even less than I am now. I find that my triggers are like being around my friends and being around my boyfriend. Then I just feel the need to just, you know, relax, let loose, and say whatever comes to mind. But even when I do that, I'm like, girl, you did not have to say that like that. You could have said that whole sentence and left that one word out. It just seems so unnecessary to me now. And I mean, it would be nice to get to the point where I just don't curse at all and I just like say the letter. Like, I have this one friend, she really does not curse. She might say like hell or something, but she don't say no bad words. And if the thought comes into her mind, she'll just say the letter, or she'll like spell it out. And usually that's only if she's like telling me a story where somebody else said it. I would love to be like sis, but you know, anyway, definitely want to limit how much I do it, even just around my friends and my boyfriend. Another one I'm working on is impulse spending. I mentioned this one in my financial glow up video or something like that. I'll link that one down below if you haven't already seen it. But around the time that I recorded that video, I realized that I am a big impulse spender, especially if I'm stressed, overwhelmed, agitated. I like to do a little bit of retail therapy. When I was really doing it heavily, I didn't realize that that's what it was, because when I hear retail therapy, I think about people just going in the mall and just buying whatever to make them feel better. I was subconsciously buying things to relieve stress. Like, I would go on Amazon and I would just find things that I liked and I would buy it, and I would immediately have that instant gratification that took away the stress that I was feeling before I pressed complete purchase. So I've been keeping a wish list in my notes on my phone, and also Pinterest boards of things that I want. And whenever I do feel the need to buy something, if I have a little bit of extra money, I'll buy things that are on that list, because at least I know that I want them because they've been on that list for a while, rather than just going to the store or going online and just buying stuff the moment that I see it. I also want to limit my screen time. I don't really spend a whole lot of time on like Instagram or TikTok, but I am on YouTube a whole lot on my phone, and even if it's not on my phone, on my TV. And although I do watch a lot of like podcasts on there, or just videos like this where people are just helping people to change their mindset, change their life, although I watch a lot of that, I still feel like it's important for me to have time where I'm not listening to something or watching something. Because I got to a point where I would take my phone with me in the shower and prop it up and listen to videos or watch videos, and I just got to a point where I felt like I didn't really have time to sit in my thoughts, because like I said, although I was watching positive things and things that were feeding my mind in a positive way, I was still always taking something in. Like, I didn't have time to just be still, think, enjoy some mindfulness, and just let my mind be at rest. Your mind doesn't have to always be going. And lastly, I want to work on the whole gossiping thing, because although I don't feel like I like sit around and just talk about people, you know, every now and then something will come up and you'll send it to your friends in a group chat, or you'll bring it up with your friends when y'all get around each other. It's just something to talk about. Every now and then I'll have one of these moments where I'll leave the conversation and I'll be thinking to myself, that didn't even have to come up. And although it's hard to admit that, especially on camera, it's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially women. Like, sometimes we don't really mean any harm, but there are certain things that just don't need to be said, certain things that just don't need to come up. And I think the problem is a lot of people, women in particular, don't want to admit that it's an issue. We feel like because we're not just sitting around talking about people all day long that we don't gossip. Everybody partakes in gossip in some type of way. And I don't know how possible it is to not do it at all, but we should definitely be more mindful of it and more conscious of it so that we can do it a lot less than we do it now. So that is all for my ins and outs list for 2024. Hopefully these very simple and practical behaviors and habits will help you to become a better version of yourself this year and for all the years to come. If you would like to share any of your personal ins and outs, feel free to comment down below. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.